You're Blocked with Eden Middleman and Simona Catalano.
Bonjour, everyone.
Bonsoir, bonsoir. I feel like that's like good evening, right?
How long do we study French for? And we still don't know the common basics. Like, I literally don't know anything in French.
You know what? I was actually thinking about that the other day. I, like, in grade 10, got an A in French. And if you asked me now how to, like, say, I don't know, my name is, I have no idea.
Je m'appelle.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I was going to say je suis, but that means I am. Anyways,
guys.
Anyways.
The French class. Today is going to be a really fun episode. We are going to be discussing one of the most common things that I feel like guys ask us for advice on.
Oh my God, yeah.
And that is how to pick up a girl the right way. Okay?
Yes, and we are not talking about just any girl here as well. We are talking about someone who's got a little bit of class. You can tell that she's interesting. She's a little bit complex. Maybe she's a little bit different. So we're really going to be taking you guys through the do's and the don'ts, our perception of what has worked for us, and what we like.
And just to preface this entire episode, we assume you're in a social setting for these do's and don'ts and these steps.
So I think first and foremost, you need to observe the setting and where you are, but also you need to do an observation on the type of girl that she is. So that means, where are you guys? Who is she with? What is she doing? What are her mannerisms? Is she buying her own drinks? Are guys buying her drinks? Is she dancing? Is she not dancing? Is she mingling? Is she sticking just to the girls? These are all things that you need to observe before you can even go to the next step and approach her.
Absolutely.
Or think about it, right? Because you're getting so much information. Like, she's actually telling you so much about her and who she is. So if you see guys are coming at her, and she's like, no, you're going to need to step out of the box and do something that's going to catch her eye, right?
And this is so important, guys. This is a social skill that you should be equipped with for day-to-day life. This is good for business. This is good for anything, right? Here, you got to observe, obviously, somebody before you have a discussion with them.
Read the room. Mm-hmm. That is a really, really important thing to take note of, to really pay attention to. Wherever you guys are, the setting, the social scene, the environment is filled with so many different types of girls. So, like, why are you approaching this girl? Once you understand why you want to approach this girl, you need to ask yourself, what am I trying to do here? Like, what is my end result? Do I just want to fuck her? Do I want to take her on a date, a lunch date? Do I want to see her next week? Is like, what's going on here? You need to understand that before you can progress. Before we get into the don'ts, step 2 is
vibe check. Okay, guys?
Now, what is a vibe check, Eden?
You want to get what we call the verification. Okay?
Yes, honey.
And once you get the verification, then you go for it. So before you obviously take that step, we want to look at her from across the room, not in a creepy way. We're going to really emphasize that, okay? You want to make sure that the eye contact is minimal and intentional. You want to make sure that she's not feeling like she's being looked at like a piece of meat, and that you're not stalking her or literally staring her down the whole night like this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You want to glance. You want to make it look like, again, you're scanning the room.
The whole goal and the whole point of this is to see if she's receptive to what you're doing. So basically, if you're standing from across the room and you're looking at her and you're kind of glancing at her from time to time, and she's glancing back and you're noticing she's doing it willingly without you prompting her, or she's smiling, or, she's winking or something. She does something back.
She's winking. She's a bold one.
That's like me.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever it is, you want to see what she's saying. So basically, you're looking at her and you're like, can I approach? And she'll be like yes, or like, no, At this point, this will be your yes or no as to whether or not to proceed.
Exactly. I also want to mention body language is the
Everything.
most important currency in speaking when you are out in a social setting. You really need to make sure that when you're doing the vibe check, when you're observing her, that you are watching her body language. She could be talking to a guy, entertaining a guy. Her body is going to tell you whether she's receptive to that conversation or not. And if she's not, and you can tell that she's not, there's various ways to know if someone is rejecting you with their body. I'm turning away. I'm giving you the cold shoulder. I'm leaning backwards. Read into that and tap into that, because that could also be your opportunity to make a move and to help her out of that situation.
Ooh, I like that. Leverage the knowledge that she is literally giving you. Be mindful of everything. So we will tell you how to succeed and how to go about doing this with exact examples, but we're first gonna point out the big no-nos.
Don't
ever do what we're about to go.
Don't ever
Come
at me with one of these things. These are all awful ways. So let's get into it.
Keep in mind, girls get hit on all the time. Like every single time they're out and about. That's why these are the lines that we hear the most often, and why we're going to tell you not to freaking say them. All of these have something in common, and that is one-word responses. They literally garner nothing but yes or no or good.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Standard, hey, how are you? Hey, what's up? Hey, can I buy you a drink?
No.
Are you having fun? These are all so annoying to be asked, because if you think about what you're leaving her to respond with is literally nothing. Like, what do you want me to say? We're in a social setting and I'm going to say, hey, I'm good. Hey, I'm not having fun. Hey, come save me. So glad you came over to talk to me. Are you having fun? I don't fucking know. What does it look like?
Yeah, that's right.
They're just generic, and it's not a good way to initiate any kind of conversation with anybody. It's just filler. It's just like, hey, I'm just trying to talk to you, so like maybe X, Y, and Z can happen.
So like my mindset when a guy pulls one of these lines out is no effort, no nothing.
Yeah.
Am I just another girl that you want to pick up and take home to screw for the night? Like, not
Exactly.
You know, even if I do want to screw you for that night, make me seem like I'm a little bit more than just that one.
A little bit more special.
Yeah.
Effort really does go a long way, and we'll get into that, but just try to stay away from those generic lines.
I want to talk about the most common one that we both get asked so often when we go out, and that is, can I buy you a drink? Okay. This is something we really want to dive deep into, because this feels so uncomfortable for a girl, because whether or not she does actually want a drink or doesn't, if she says yes to you, she feels, and you probably are giving her that sense of obligation.
Exactly.
Like if I say yes to this and you're willingly asking to buy me a drink, I know I have to stand by you the whole night, and I don't want to be obligated to you.
And a lot of guys are going to be like, oh, but like I just bought you a drink and like you said yes. Her saying yes literally means absolutely fucking nothing. You need to take the accountability in saying, listen, I'm offering. She's responded and said, hey, this guy wants to buy me a drink. Why wouldn't I let him buy me a drink? She has every right to do that.
Just to put it out there, me and Simona are not the type of girls to say yes. We don't feel comfortable because we know there's a certain sense of obligation with most men.
Exactly, yeah.
If you ask a girl and she says yes, you have no right to be butthurt and to talk shit about that girl and to get at that girl. She takes the drink, looks at you and says, thank you so much, and walks away.
She didn't do anything wrong.
Nothing. You offered, she took the offer.
Exactly. We're just kind of clearing the air on the drink front. If I'm dancing, if a girl is dancing, she's dancing with her friends, do not, I repeat, do not fucking come near me, come up from behind me, or think that you can grab me and touch me, think we're going to dance. That's a really good way to get punched in the face.
That's a really good way to get charged with sexual harassment too, by the way.
This also goes into not invading her personal space. You need to still do your vibe check and observe me. Don't just insert yourself into a conversation.
It's just respect. Like, I would never walk in the middle of a conversation, or if she's dancing with her girl, it's her song, you can tell she's vibing, whatever, and you're coming in and you're trying to take over that moment.
Exactly.
I just want to say everybody's time is valuable, so treat it as such. If she's going out with her girls, just keep in mind that that's precious time for her and her friends. And if you really want to get in on that, and if you really want to spend time with her because you're interested in her, whatever, you really have to work your angles and be smart by observing and checking the vibe, making sure you have some sort of consent or verification that it is okay to come in when you come in. So it's a matter of timing as well, I think.
Approaching a girl and giving her a compliment on her appearance, I would say, in my own personal opinion, is a no-no. You're just going after a look, an appearance. You look hot, like you look good. I like what you're wearing. Like, okay, thank you.
When it comes to that, I feel like a piece of meat. So I already look at guys who are in these social settings that are looking at me or you, guys who are hunting down meat. Like that's what it feels like to me every time I go out. And I am so negative about it. Even if I am interested in a guy, let's say, I don't even want to give you a shot if you're looking at me like that, if you're going to come and hit on me with that appearance line. Like, I'm sorry, I'm more than just that, okay? And like, honestly, if that works for you and other girls, go for those girls, not for me.
Like multiple guys are doing these wrong things throughout the night. So let's say you're buddy number 4. I'm going to not be as patient and as nice to you because you're now the 4th guy that's coming up to me trying to say one of these lines, trying to compliment me on how I look, and I'm not for it. I just don't want it. My patience is done. I'm like, just don't talk to me. I want to leave.
If she is with other people, it's important to also gauge that situation, okay? Just because you and your buddies are like, yo, she's hot, her friends are kind of cute too, doesn't mean you guys can tag team the entire team. Yeah.
It's not a free-for-all, and it doesn't give you the right to hit on me by association. Yeah, when we're out, and one of us is talking to a guy and then, oh, he happens to just be out with one other guy. So now that guy's looking at me. It's like, buddy, no. Like just because my friend's talking to your friend doesn't mean that you got to come up to me and start talking to me.
If you're actually interested in her friend and you're the wingman or whatever, do the vibe check. Observe her. Make those
Exactly.
and do it at different times too. Don't be that obvious. If you're really concerned, I'm going to give you guys a tip, okay? If you're like the wingman, let's say in the situation, or the second guy, your buddy's like, yo, I'm obsessed with this girl. Like, I want to go talk to her. Like, I feel like we vibe. She's giving him the verification. Like, it's happening.
Yeah.
The vibing. Okay, he goes off and shoots his shot. Your buddy's sitting there. He's like, yo, I feel bad for this girl. She's kind of cute. Like, maybe you have something going for her. Maybe you don't. You go up to her and you can make a joke out of it and be like, I'm sorry. I'm not going to try and be the wingman here. Like, let him do his thing. I'm sorry that my buddy's taking your friend away from your friend. And that's it. Keep it simple. Walk away. Just be a friend. Be very chill about it. If you really want to say something. Most girls are okay not being spoken to, believe it or not.
I'd rather be not talking to anybody than having to entertain some guy because he feels bad for me.
We understand that going and summing up the courage to speak to somebody is really nerve-wracking, and you're worried about rejection. Everyone is, and that's totally fine. Ego hits are huge. We all have an ego. We're all trying to work with it and make shit happen, okay? Keep in mind, though, that what we're giving you right now is the best way to prevent any large ego hits. Like you will both feel a lot better, okay? The girl, the guy, in whatever situation you're in, if you read her, if you observe her, this will prevent so much unnecessary ego hits where the guy then gets mad at the girl and says, she's such a bitch. Why is she so rude to me? I just wanted to see, like, what's up? Like, well, she's sick and tired of guys doing that, okay? And it's not fair, and it doesn't give you the right to do it all the time.
The aggression that I've definitely experienced and that I know numerous women have experienced. If I say no, please take that seriously the first time. It is not an invitation to me. I'm not playing games. I'm not trying to play hard to get. I'm genuinely shutting you down for the rest of the night. So if you come back for a second try and I'm like, you know what? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like, I can tell that you're really trying here, but I'm just not interested. Comes back a third time. I am now absolutely livid, and I am not going to be half as nice as I was the first 2 times. I am done now, and I'm going to tell you to fuck off. And what tends to happen in this situation is that, you know, guys are like, oh, bro, like, I don't even like you like that. Like, you're not even that cute. Like, oh, yeah, I'm not that cute. That's why you came to me 3 times and wouldn't take no for an answer. But now, all of a sudden, I'm ugly. Okay.
Respect the freaking no, okay? You are not supposed to be getting every single girl every single time. If it's not meant to be, if she doesn't see the value in you, that's it. End of story. You don't need to get your ego hurt and get all butt hurt and be a sore loser. If she changes her mind, she will come to you. You have now made it clear that you tried. okay? Or you give her the vibe check or whatever, and she's kind of like, iffy or not sure. Now she knows that you're interested. Take a step back. It doesn't always have to be you. We're not saying that guys have to make the move all the freaking time. For example, me and Simona, like, we are very upfront, straight up girls. That's the type of girls that we are. We'll tell you no to your face immediately. We'll tell you yes to your face immediately. Immediately. So now that we have gone through the don'ts and what not to do and what to keep in mind, we're going to go into the do's and give you guys some pointers, which is so exciting.
I want to say that for the do's, a lot of you might be saying, okay, well, what lines can I use? And there actually are absolutely no lines. Like, we are not going to sit here and tell you this is what you have to say. And the reason is because every single girl is unique and different. And so that in and of itself requires the approach to be unique and different every single time.
If you guys think that there is one universal line, if you think that we're going to sit here and tell you this is the easy way out, all you have to do is this. You're wrong. No. It takes work. It takes observation. And if you're going to put in that work, the girl will notice and she'll appreciate that.
There's a certain level of creativity and thinking outside of the box that will garner you to get her to open up, or get her to say yes, or get her to initiate a conversation with you, or be receptive to you. And so ultimately, what you want to do is, when you're doing your vibe check, when you're observing her, you're looking for little things about her that you can connect with her on. For example, I was at a club. I was wearing a brand new pair of shoes. They were pretty expensive. They were designer. They were also not heels. They were flats. And I had made it very, very clear to everybody in the club, don't fucking step on my shoes. Like, I was so nervous about a drink being spilled on them. They were suede. Suede is so hard to clean. I was making sure that I wasn't drinking too much, and that I wasn't stumbling. And then and then, a song came on and I was like, oh my God, how can I not dance? So I was like, I have to dance. So I was dancing, but also literally pushing people.
Guys, when she says pushing people, like, this is Simona, not my Jimmy's, like, pushes people like this. Get out of, you cannot touch Jimmy. Like,
get out of the way. Jimmy was on my foot, and there was absolutely no way I could let anybody ruin him. So there was a guy that came up to me and was like, oh my God, like, your shoes are so sick. Like, I love Jimmy too. I was like, oh my God, like, Jimmy? He's like, don't worry, I got you. Like, if anything happens to your shoes, use this and this. Tomorrow it's going to clean them. And I was like, oh my God, wait, what? First of all, this person came up to me and offered me valuable information on how I could clean my shoes. Two, he knew what kind of shoes I was wearing. They were just all black, no labels. He knew, so I was like, whoa, brownie points. He knows his designers. He was paying attention to me. He knew that this was important to me, and he was like, you know what, let me try to help this girl out.
Think outside the box. I think that is the number one thing. It's what sets you apart from everybody else. This girl gets hit on 24/7 every time she goes out. Not because of anything, it's just because we're girls, okay? And these lines are the only thing that is being used. So whatever your bros are telling you, don't do it, throw it out the window, listen to us, okay? There is one other example, Simon, I really want you just to bring up, like, quickly, about a guy who was so observant about your little allergy.
Oh, yes. Okay. I have an oddly weird potato and corn allergy. So this means that, like, vodka's in the booth, I can't have. My friend was drinking, Eden was drinking, and then it was my turn to get a drink. And I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm okay. I'm good. And this one guy was like, but why aren't you drinking? Like, I saw you were drinking before. You're not drinking now. Like, you came to the booth with a drink. So what's up? I was like, I just can't drink any of this vodka. Like, it's either corn or potato, and I have a really bad allergy. And he was like, don't worry, I got you. Like, literally went to the bar, and he was like, do you have Ciroc? Because Ciroc is distilled from grapes. And that's the vodka that I would drink. Got me my vodka drink and came back to the booth. And then we started talking. The effort, whether or not his intentions were pure, he was a nugget. He really was.
Oh my God.
A little muffin. I liked him.
And the reason why, though, this works is he was not like, can I get you a drink? Let me get you a... He was literally approaching this from... This is our number 2, by the way, of what to do, is to start friendly. He literally approached Simona with the most easy, cool, simple, no frills, no strings attached kind of way. Like, why aren't you drinking? I literally saw you drink. Like, what's going on? You know, are you okay?
Like a bro, and I love that. Like, we gravitate towards that. I'm like, yo, like, why aren't you drinking?
Yeah, what's up? Takes out the discomfort and the stress from both of you if he was trying to hit on you, which we eventually realized he was. But he was doing it in such a cute, sweet, like genuinely caring way that even if he was working an angle, like even if most guys are watching this right now and they're like, yo, that's a fucking classic move. Like, let me tell you about that classic move. It was executed correctly and therefore you will win.
Perfectly. The amount of guys that have been able to execute that the way this guy did are like very, very slim to none in my books.
Where?
Because a lot of guys are like, oh my God, weird, like allergy, like gluten-free, like all this shit. Like, bro, what not to do? Like, you've just ruled yourself out. You can go sit in the corner now. Thank you so much.
Bye. When you approach a girl, try and be friends with her first and then see where it goes. Because oftentimes if it doesn't work out, hey, you made a friend. Like, you didn't miss out on much.
Exactly.
Also, like another tip, and me and Simone will love this, and I think most people do, is who doesn't like a little humor? Who doesn't like something funny? Maybe even a little sarcastic. You know what I mean? Something.
Yes, I love that.
Exactly. With personality.
Generally in a social setting like a club, like we've mentioned, we're both super not receptive to anything. So when a guy approaches me with some level of humor, I'm like, oh, you can make me laugh. You've already got my attention. If I'm scanning the room and I see something weird, like something weird is happening in that corner, I'm like, yo, is anybody booking? What is happening? And like talking, someone else is over here. And a guy approaches me and he's like, oh my God, like you see those people? I'm like, oh my God, yes. Like I thought I was the only one. Boom, instant. He's got my attention because he is now paid attention to the fact that I'm paying attention to the weird people and he's giving that attention. So I'm like, oh my God, we're going to bond over this.
Create that one little connection, one little bond like we spoke about. And then the conversation most of the time will come organically and naturally. There's a wall that's put up. So once effort is shown, so when you make friends, like think about it. How do I make friends? Like you just come at it from a chill angle and you don't care that you have something to lose. Because like really, what is there to lose? You don't know this person, you forget about them the next day. Like it's not a big deal. It takes two to tango, which is what I always say. It's literally a dance. So the minute you put in some effort and you show her, hey, I'm not here to be a douchebag. I'm not here to sleep with you necessarily right away. Like I'm trying to build a connection. I've observed you. I've tried something. I put something on the table. Then it's her chance to either take the dance and like put another step in or she'll take a step back and that's fine. But just so you know, guys, we're not saying that you are the only people that are supposed to be coming up and picking up other people. Girls can make an effort too. As long as you guys both have this common like verification of one another, then one of you guys will make that move. Please don't miss out on an opportunity. Like if an opportunity presents itself and you're gonna sit there being nervous and all that stuff, you're losing out. You're not gonna go home and be like, what if, what if, what if? So I was out at a bar and this one guy was sitting in a corner, okay, with a group of people, like guys, girls. Girls were obviously interested in him, talking to him and all that stuff. And he was staring, okay, not staring at me, but glancing at me from time to time. But like the whole night. And it was getting towards the end of the night. I was getting ready to leave. I'm like, wow, this guy still hasn't spoken to me. And that like irritates me a little bit. I'm like, come on, like make the first move. Like I see you, you see me, like whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go make the first move. Like, what's the big deal? So I got up and I went to him at his booth, okay? Everyone kind of left, so I found the perfect timing. I didn't come in with a bunch of people and make him feel uncomfortable. And I sat there and I literally looked at him and I'm like, so you've been staring at me the whole night. What's up? Like, why aren't you saying hi to me, you know? And he was like, he loved that. He was like, wow, like this is amazing. So we built a connection based off of like being a little bit more abrupt and silly and funny. And then I got to know him.
Like if you're ever feeling nervous, but you think that there's a vibe there, if you approach him, I'm going to say that he's most likely going to be receptive. If you're reading it right, you've done all the things, maybe you've asked your girlfriend, she's told you to do it. You're doing it in a tasteful way. Tasteful. You're not like bending over in front of him trying to twerk. You're trying to initiate a conversation. He, more often than not, will be receptive to that. So just put yourself out there and try if you want to do it. And a lot of guys like that.
Don't wait for one another. Don't depend on each other. You don't know each other like that. Make the first move. It doesn't hurt. Girl or guy, who the hell cares?
And I think that you'll find if you go out and you really utilize the tools that we've just given you and told you about, you will be able to hold a conversation or get a girl to talk to you or accomplish whatever it is that you want from that person, from the situation, for the situation. It's really important to just put yourself out there, but also be respectful and read the body language of the other person.
We love to have a little moral of the story, and that is just, if an opportunity presents itself, make it happen, do it respectfully, be nice, be friendly, be mindful and respectful about everybody's space. And I also think it'd be really interesting to see if you guys have any other tips about picking up either girls or guys. If you want to comment that down below, that'd be really interesting.
Yes.
See.
Please let us know what's worked for you, if you've tried anything creative, really just build a little community down in the comments below to help each other out and help each other navigate.
And on that note, guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Episode 6 will be coming out soon.
Yes, we're so excited for episode 6.
And I guess we'll see you guys very soon. Au revoir!
Au revoir! We're really
a croissant now. Bye.
Oh my God, yeah, can we?
Oh my God. Simona, remember Vegas? Every morning?
We had croissants every morning.
I know it wasn't Paris, but it was close, okay?
It was Starbucks, so really not close.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.